person who had voted for the People's Progressive Party. This will benefit all of Guyana. And this is some of the things that we need to highlight so that young people can know that the People's Progressive Party is so committed. Our president, Donald Ramotar, is so committed in making sure that this project brings something of value to Guyanese and to help in the reduction of poverty in our country and to make sure that the burdens that we are seeing now today, like this, of paying these high bills, will not be. You know?
However, that is why, come May 11th, we must answer the question: are we prepared to support persons who have a narrow vision of development? Are we prepared? Young persons, there's a campaign right now on Facebook whereby persons are saying that we must move forward. Of course, the PP has all been moved forward. It's not something new to the PP. We have been moved forward from 92 to now, and even before then. But the question is, the persons who have been saying no to development, we must tell them we're not prepared to move forward with them because we want to advance to a different stage.
While I know the combined opposition got a job to do, and their job basically to criticize the government programs and so, but I think you can do that constructively. I think the cutting of the budget, I saw that as heartless. I cannot describe that act actually more. But despite that, I cannot find reasons why the opposition did that. What are the reasons? Because if they're talking about corruption, right? Now, the chairman for the Public Accounts Committee is a member from the opposition. The accounting officers have to go in Parliament, in front of the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. He can so recommend charges for officer if they're in breach with the Procurement Act or the Fiscal Management and Accountability Act. So I cannot understand the reasons why they would have did that act by depriving Guyanese, by putting Guyanese at a disadvantage by cutting those major projects. But despite that, under the strong and good, strong leadership of President Ramotar during this period, this 3-year period, I can tell you this government has achieved a lot, and especially in young people development. And to add with my colleague here, under the board of industrial training, over 4,000 young people were trained for last year alone. Under the Ministry of Tourism, over 1,000 persons were trained in business development, marketing, and so. And even that, our secondary schools, we got approximately 100% now computer labs in all of our secondary, functional labs in all our secondary school under the stewardship of Dr. Priya Manichan and good leadership of President Ramotar. And also we can see job creation. The new Qualifon also created over 6,000 new jobs. So despite all this kind of harassment from the opposition in our parliament and to Guyanese on the whole, these are only some of the development that actually took place within this 3-year period because of strong, reliable, and committed leadership by President Ramotar to the Guyanese people on the whole.
You see, that is fundamental, because we have seen this whole issue of whereby the opposition is saying, look, there's no job for young people in our country. You know, young people are not being involved, you know, in the different levels of our country. But I can tell you this, how can young people be involved if we have an expansion project, the expansion of the airport, that will create jobs for thousands of young people in all form, in all form, in the security of the airport. They will have the aspect of tourism. You know, there are so many areas at the airport that can create so many jobs for young people, but yet the opposition doesn't see the aspect of creating these jobs. You know, they have blocked the expansion of the airport because they don't see the need for being an airport. But guess what? The opposition is not bringing anything new or to say, look, this is what I want to bring, right? Or this is our plan for the development of the airport. Nothing like that.
It is the
In,
same.
in the same aspect, if you look at the Marriott Hotel, the opposition is saying all kind of thing about the Marriott Hotel, but we want to develop a Guyana whereby people, when they come up from abroad, they can see the development of our country. The chain of hotels in our country, the Marriott is one that has been recognized throughout the world. And one of the things that they say, who would this benefit? It would benefit our young people, you know, in all aspect of the tourism industry. So the opposition is always putting their foot in their mouth to say, look, we want to do this. You know, we want to do this and we have a plan. But their plan is to force themselves into power to make sure that when they get there, you know, they will do something else. But we have learned throughout the years and we have seen the suffering of our people in Guyana. So why do we want to go back down that road? We have seen the development. We have seen the leadership. We have seen the vision of the People's Progressive Party. We have seen the leadership and the vision of President Ramatar throughout. And I can tell you this, viewers, President Ramatar will bring a fresh scent, you know, he will breathe a fresh breath of air to our country because he was entrusted by our late leader, President Jagan, to make sure that, look, if Dr. Jagan, right, or Comacheri did not believe in our president today, in President Ramatar, he would not have given him that opportunity to lead our party for a number of years. You know, so this is the vision of Comacheri, and we have seen that vision being transpired by the humbleness and leadership of President Ramatar today.
The thing about it, Howard, you will see nothing new from the opposition because it is the same old PNC mentality, PNC thinking into fixation about the centist policies. So there will be nothing new. And as Granger said, that he's not a danger, but he's a game changer, right? The game that he played in the 70s, he cannot play those games now, right? And we cannot play games with people's lives in Guyana. This is serious. We're talking about people's livelihood. This is not about game playing draft. This is about economic development. This is about the future of young people, future of young Guyanese. I'm talking about the Marriott Hotel. The Marriott Hotel going to create over 300 jobs directly. And mostly young people going to benefit from those jobs. And that is why when former President Barrow Jagdeo would have, had abolished the national service so that our young minds can be well equipped with more knowledge into our job market out there. And that is why we got also under the Ministry of Labor the Central Planning and Recruitment Center, a job bank there where young people can go and apply for jobs within that sector on the whole. So these are some of the policies in Guyana since 2006. Under the People Progressive Party Civic, we got an ICT strategy for young people, for Guyana, for each family. One laptop for a family. We got an ICT strategy. National Service cannot solve the issues of young people. How can National Service putting people to march on the streets will help us? Cannot. It cannot. So I want to appeal to the opposition. I think they can be more creative.
If I'm supposed to add to what my colleague would have said, I think we as a people, right, of course we're smart people. We need to get rid of the culture whereby we only tend to whisper the successes, right? And then to you know, say out loud when only when we have, you know, minor fail or minor setback, there's when we want to come and advertise it and, you know, let everybody know when you know, we would have failed, right? I think we need to call a spade a spade. There have been development and a lot of development, right? We as a people need to realize that every initiative or every developmental program that the present government has tried to put in place, right? It's either been cut, right, or stymied in some way.
They're frustrating
right?
our system.
Exactly. I mean, they tried to frustrate us as a, you know, as a government, but due to the strong leadership of our president Ramatar, I think he's been doing a great job in terms of his patience and tolerance, and I think he would have exhausted each and every option there is, right? Thus bringing us to this point.
That's right. If you look, you know, we've heard Moses talking a lot about patriotism and how patriotic. But where was Granger all the time? And one of the interesting things about all of this is that when you could remember that when Nagamutu was going for that position as Speaker of the National Assembly, Granger said, look, this man here, the man qualified for the job. You know, the man and ready yet for this job. And so on like this. And criticize him. And Moses Nagamutu himself had consistently criticized Granger because they have known the era that Granger came from. Granger was there when the ballot box martyr was killed. He was there when they had the massacre in Linden, in Mackenzie. He was there when they had the rigging of the elections in generally across the country. And to date, he was there also when there was the killing of Rodney. And our country, everybody is saying, look, come and give some evidence. You know, come and tell us your part. Because he had held a position at that time in the military. So he would have known something. He'd have known something about this. But guess what? How patriotic he is that he don't want to go there to say, look, this is what took place. You know? So these are some of the interesting things that we're looking at. To date, we are still to see young people. We have not seen, or Guyanese have not seen the opposition walking every villages. Right? We have lived in Ogle, but most of my family live in Plaisance. We had walked in Plaisance. If you ask the people from Plaisance, you ask the people from Buxton, you ask the people in different parts of the East Coast, when last they've seen the opposition. Now we have started to see the opposition trickle in. You know, if you look at these areas, you have seen the vast development. Look at the roads. Look at the lights in these areas. Look at the development generally in this area. This is to show you that even though that the people at the last election didn't vote for the People's Progressive Party, development is throughout this country. And nobody can say that there's not that one part of this country is not being developed. Nobody can say that. And the opposition want us to understand, look, when they get into power, this when they get into power, then things will be different. But they have a part to play in our country, and the part that they have to play in the country is to help our country to develop. And we have not seen anything like that. So this whole aspect of the coalition, now we were in Berbice, we were in the East Coast. We have seen thousands of people who had supported AFC. The AFC. They are saying to us, we have seen them. We as PYO member, we have walked in our hundreds. And we have seen the whole aspect of our young people saying, look, and these people saying to us, we even have them on video saying, look, we had made the biggest mistake. Because they know it was a lot of promises at the last election. And what happened? 20% for sugar workers. And the same AFC and UPNU coalition where they're saying, oh, they love the sugar workers in their country. They want to shut their estates. They want to shut their estates. And to make sure like this. So these are some of the development that we are seeing. But I can tell you under the Donald Ramatar administration, under the People's Progressive Party, civic government, we will not shut these estates. Development will continue throughout this country. And we can assure you that, look, there is always a place for you. And I can tell you this here, every Guyanese is saying, look, You know, this man he was a soldier and so on like this. If this man can't hold a gate at Congress Place when there is a Congress, how could the man protect us as Guyanese in Guyana? You know, these are some of the interesting things. How could the man protect us? He can't even protect. He can't even hold a gate like he have a man with a big gun that gives firing shots. How could he protect us as Guyanese?
No, but interesting,
You know?
Sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Right? Interesting. We talk about 2011. Mr. Nagamutu is going up for the speaker position.
Yeah.
And there you had the PNC not trusting Moses Nagamutu.
That's right.
So we have 3 years down the road now. We have this Valentine marriage. The people will answer come May 11.
That's right.
Because Mr. Nagamutu is talking about 11,000 plus.
Yeah.
The other day already said he never said that. But there was this talk of he bring 11,000 persons. Well, I can tell him on national TV now that the 11,000 persons or so that voted for them for the AFC in last 2011 elections, those persons are bitter, they are angry, and they are back home with the PP. So I'm afraid that you have to join the winning team. Come May 11, don't support a marriage that there is no trust in, because all our females will know once there is no trust in a relationship, it will sink.
Thank you very much. I think we came to program time, and I just want to leave this little encouragement with all our viewers today. We have seen the opposition in their true colors. We have seen that the only thing that opposition wants from us is our vote to make sure that they take our country backward. But under the People's Progressive Party, come on May the 11th, put that X next to the cup. Vote for a party with a vision for Guyana and a party that will secure your children